second leg. First leg, of course, was 5-2 to PSG. Safanov is going to take this free kick. It's a right-footed effort. It's long, and Kvaratskhelia is wrestling, and Kvaratskhelia could be here. Kvaratskhelia scores, and Chelsea are in even deeper trouble now. It's that man again who's come to haunt them. Safanov played it over the top, and let's be honest with you, he didn't know how to deal with Kvaratskhelia there, the youngster, Yorel Hato, and he's been caught exposed at the back, and he could smell blood. Kavica Kvaratskhelia, and he got the better of the young defender, wrestled clear and smashes it past the goalkeeper, and after just 6 minutes, Paris Saint-Germain have taken the lead in this game, and it means that they are now 6-2 up on aggregate. He's definitely onside, but as he has a run here at Mamadou Sarr, Mamadou Sarr makes an almighty mess of it and allows Kvaratskhelia to get in. It hits him on the heel, and Kvaratskhelia peels off his shoulder and round the back, gets in, cleverly puts his body in front of Mamadou Sarr and just whips it past the left hand of goalkeeper Robert Sanchez and into the corner, and off he goes to celebrate with the Paris Saint-Germain fans behind that goal in the corner. And an early goal for PSG, and it looks like the holders might well be on their way through. Paris Saint-Germain leading by a goal to nil, and their nemesis at the moment, Chelsea, is Kavica Kvaratskhelia. A hat-trick of goals in this tie, and that might just do it for Chelsea. What can they come up with now? Well, they have to win by 4-1 just to take it to extra time. If there is any solace, if there is any encouragement here, it has been done before in West London. It was been done by Fulham, who were 2-0 down in the first leg away at Juventus. And then Juventus came to Craven Cottage and scored to make it 3-1 on aggregate. Fulham went and scored 4 to win 4-3 on aggregate. So it is possible. It has been done before. Oh goodness me, Liverpool have come back from that margin of error before, haven't they? But you just wonder if this Chelsea side got what it takes to lay into Paris Saint-Germain, and they do come forward quickly here, and this is Enzo Fernandez, chips it towards goal and chips it wide. It did take a deflection. It will be a corner to Chelsea. Well, you do think that Chelsea will come up with goals in this game. The only trouble is you suspect that Paris Saint-Germain may well be able to score goals of their own. Pedro Neto will take the corner from over on the right-hand side. Whips it in underneath the crossbar. Strong header away by Pacho. Back in by Enzo Fernandez. It's turned up in the air by Mamadou Sarr off the initial flick into the box by Trevor Chalobah. Now it's been returned back in by Pedro Neto, and Safanov is all over the place. It could have been anywhere really, but there was a foul in there by Enzo Fernandez, and it's going to be a free kick to Paris Saint-Germain, and all the commotion comes to nothing in the end. Well, Liam Rossini would have wanted a strong start from his side. What he wouldn't have wanted is to concede the first goal in the opening 6 minutes, and they have done that here, and that has made it an almighty task. And you feel that that Kvaratskhelia goal gives them the real grip of this game now. They've got to score 4 without reply, Chelsea. They are checking a penalty. Pacho grabbing hold of Pedro Neto. No, not Pedro, no, João Pedro. It's not keeping, I don't think there's anything in it. Chalobah, which is it. Well, it was left so exposed, Mamadou Sarr, but really that should have been perhaps picked up by Trevor Chalobah. It's a central position. Why was Mamadou Sarr dragged in to do Chalobah's job? Where was Chalobah? It wasn't a case of them coming back from a set play. Here's Cucurella for Chelsea, just inside the Paris Saint-Germain half. It's with Hato to Caicedo. Back now to Hato again. Cole Palmer, haven't seen much of him He's been dispossessed. Kvaratskhelia spinning, and he finds Joao Neves, who gets it wide to Kvaratskhelia at the moment. Paris Saint-Germain just looked that little bit more orchestrated. I think that 3-1 home loss against Monaco perhaps giving them the kick up the backside that they needed to get their season back on track. Remember, it was about this time last season they turned the corner and hit form. And by goodness me, did they hit form as well. They run away with the French League and they bulldoze their way to the Champions League for the first time in their history as well. 5-0, they beat Inter Milan in the final. When they are ticking, they are unstoppable. It doesn't happen every game. Here's the ball forward towards João Pedro. It's very slow from Cole Palmer, and João Pedro does look at Palmer and say, come on, you've got to put a bit more pace on that. Barcola wins it back for Paris Saint-Germain. It's back out wide on the right-hand side with Hakimi, and Hakimi leaves it and then makes the run forward. Hakimi in the corner against Cucurella. It came off of Hakimi and behind for a goal kick. Remember, Sporting 3-0 down from the first leg. Proving it can be done. They are 4-0 up tonight in extra time against Bodo Glimt, and it looks like the Portuguese are going through. The winners of that will play the winners of Arsenal against Bayer Leverkusen, which is still 0-0. Manchester City versus Real Madrid, still 0-0. So, what does this game have in store? Chelsea have got to score the next goal. That is now abundantly obvious, more so than ever. You'd probably said that before kickoff, but now they really do. And they've got to get it sooner rather than later as well. Comes across. It's high one as well. Wouldn't come to Chalobah, and it's swung towards goal. It's going to be a goal kick. So Andre Santos absolutely adamant that it did take a deflection, but no, says the referee. Winners of this tie will play Galatasaray or Liverpool, which is tomorrow evening at Anfield. It's Newcastle or Barcelona against Atletico Madrid or Tottenham Hotspur. Could be an all-English affair. It's more likely to be a more Spanish affair. Real Madrid or Manchester City will play Atalanta or Bayern Munich. So probably Bayern Munich there as a 6 up from the first leg, 6-1 up. And looks like Sporting are going to go through. Will it be Leverkusen or Arsenal? It's just going to get more and more mouth-watering, isn't it, this competition? Chalobah into Santos, tries to turn it round the corner, smashed straight into the midriff by Caicedo into Santos, and that's allowed Paris Saint-Germain to take it away with Zaire Emery, and he releases Hakimi into the penalty area. Barcola with a shot, top corner, 2-0, game over. Oh, that was devastating from Paris Saint-Germain. And Bradley Barcola, who scored a cracker in the first leg, has scored an equally impressive one in the second leg. And it's 7-2 with just 15 minutes of this second leg played. And Chelsea are as good as out of the Champions League now. That is a devastating goal from Barcola and Paris Saint-Germain. Well, it came about when Moses Caicedo got the ball in midfield, just drilled it straight to the chest of Andre Santos from about 2 yards away. It deflected, and Paris Saint-Germain said thank you very much, and it was blocked by Zaire Emery, who checked his wing mirrors and started to head out towards the right hand side with pace. He releases Hakimi, just knock and go up to the edge of the box, inside to Barcola, one touch out with his left foot, and with his right foot he just arcs it from the edge of the box right up into the top corner. It's a sensational goal, it really is. And well, if Paris Saint-Germain go out tonight, it would be the greatest comeback in European football history. Well, that's put a smile on the face of Luis Enrique. You don't often see a smile on the face of Liam Rosenior, and you're not likely to anytime soon after that goal. Paris Saint-Germain devastating, and it wasn't the defence's fault. It was given away so cheaply by Caicedo, who smashed it into Santos. I don't think you can blame Santos, he couldn't really control it. Hit him on the chest, and Zaire Emery popped in and came away with the ball. And they're just too good at the moment, Paris Saint-Germain. They scored 10 over the two legs against fellow French side Brest last season in the playoff round, the one before this. Remember, they had to come through that again this year against Monaco. And they scraped through that eventually. They were far from convincing, but the old Paris Saint-Germain, it was so impressive last season, it's just re-emerged. I tell you what it is, and Vitinha's a brilliant player in that midfield, but since they've got João Neves back, they've been a completely different side. He is a sensational player, João Neves. Understated, 70 million euros was paid by Paris Saint-Germain for him when he was a teenager. He's only 21, and the Portuguese is so good. There's Palmer to Santos, and then wide to Pedro Neto, trying his luck from the right hand side. Dances past one, but won't get past Zaire Emery, who just slips it behind for a corner. Well, any chance of a Chelsea revival had pretty much been extinguished here. Chelsea have had 3 attempts in this game so far, nothing on target. Paris Saint-Germain, this is how devastating they've been. 2 attempts, 2 shots on target, 2 goals. Ouch. That's the way to do it, isn't it? Pedro Neto into the near post. Safanov uncomfortably punches it away. It's Pedro Neto again, twisting and turning. Vitinha for company. In it goes. Pacho with a glancing header away. Good header as well. Out to the left-hand side, where Moises Caicedo ushers it behind for another corner. To Chelsea. If you are just joining us, it's Chelsea 0, Paris Saint-Germain 2 already, just 18 minutes gone. Kvaratskhelia with the first goal, Bradley Barcola with the second. The 2 wide men with the goals to put Chelsea within touching distance of elimination. As Bradley Barcola back in his own penalty area, was able to hoist the ball over his own shoulder. His goal in the first leg was good, his goal in the second leg equally as devastating. He knows where the top corner is, doesn't he? 2 sensational strikes. Still Sporting leading Bodo Glimt by 4 goals to 0, 4-3 on aggregate. What a comeback. It proves it can be done, but that would pale into insignificance compared to a Chelsea comeback here tonight, because Chelsea have got to score 5 goals now without reply. You can't see them not scoring again here. Paris Saint-Germain in, it's whipped by Bradley Barcola. He had to keep hold of it there, Sanchez, and he did. Well, can you see? Well, Chelsea have got to win this game 5-0 from this moment onwards. I can't see it from what we've seen so far. I can't see Chelsea scoring 5. I can't see Paris Saint-Germain not scoring more the way the game has been so far. Long ball forward, taken on the chest by Trevor Chalobah. Closed down by Kvaratskhelia, who then fouls Mamadou Sarr. Sporting have gone and got a 5th in that game. Sporting 5, Bodo Glimt 0. Bodo Glimt's adventure in the Champions League is going to come to an end. They will win plenty of admirers and plenty of fans for the way that story has unfolded. I suspect that squad will be decimated in the summer by vultures in and around the top leagues of Europe, taking a punt on some very good players that they've got. Here's Vitinha, gets it wide to Zaire Emery, sidestepping Santos. And now João Neves, calmly back to Maquinos. Never seems to break sweat, Maquinos. He's just one of those calm, influential players. Pacho wide to Mendes. Haven't really seen too much of Mendes getting forward so far. Let's face it, they don't need to get those fullbacks forward, but when they do get forward, Paris Saint-Germain with those 2 fullbacks, they are devastating. Here's the other one, Hakimi. He's gone long to Zaire Emery. He will chase it. It's knocked back to Sanchez, and Sanchez whips it up to the halfway line, taken on the chest by Mendes, who swerves inside, chips it back to Pacho, but the referee's whistle has gone. Caicedo is brought down. Nuno Mendes, and a coming together of the two number 25s. Real Madrid have got a penalty, and Manchester City are down to 10 men at the Etihad. Any English comeback hopes are fastly having water poured all over them, aren't they? So, looking good at the Etihad for Manchester City. Bernardo Silva is the player that's been sent off. So, here come Paris Saint-Germain. Kvaratskhelia full of tricks. Zaire Emery. This is Hakimi. Just curls it out to the right-hand side. Bradley Barcola takes it in his stride, knocks it back to Maquinas. Paris Saint-Germain know that if they can just manage this game, they should be all right. They've got to concede 5 goals without reply. Chelsea got to do to them what they did to Inter Milan in the final. Score 5 without reply. Vinicius Junior has scored that penalty. It's now Manchester City 0, Real Madrid 1. That's 4-0 on aggregate. And, well, Manchester City have got to get 4 if they want to take it to extra time. Chelsea have got to get 5 without reply if they want to get it to extra time. It's like English sides are going to be pinning their hopes on Newcastle and Liverpool in the Champions League this season, along with Arsenal, of course. Arsenal currently 0-0 with Bayer Leverkusen. Found an early breakthrough in that game, Arsenal. Manchester City against Arsenal this Sunday in the Carabao Cup final at Wembley. Got the ball at the moment with Pedro Neto. And Santos gets it wide to Cole Palmer. Very little of him we've seen so far. That's a good ball in, and the header was just wide, and the goalkeeper came out and got a little bit caught in no man's land. The header was from Pedro Neto. It was wide. That's better from Cole Palmer. That's what he can do to you. Whips it into the back post. Glancing header from Neto. And Safanov was nowhere near getting his fist to the ball. Pedro Neto's glancing header was wide. Better from Palmer. First bit of quality from him all night. Chelsea 0, Paris Saint-Germain 2. Chelsea 2, Paris Saint-Germain 7 on aggregate. Through the legs of the referee to Cole Palmer. Here come Chelsea again, trying to build up a head of steam with Trevor Chalobah. Down the line to Pedro Neto. Cole Palmer plays it straight against Vitinha, gets it back again. And now it's Santos into João Pedro. João Pedro, can he find room for the shot? He can't. It's Pacho that blocks him. Hakimi cushions it away. Barcola's given it away though. And here's Cucurella on the edge of the box on the left-hand side. Tries to get the cross in. And back there with some honest defensive shift work is Bradley Barcola to put the ball behind for a corner. His goal last week was his first cup goal of the season. Tonight he gets another one. So it's now 10 goals in Ligue 1 and 2 in the Champions League. He had previously gone 17 matches without a goal in the Champions League. When they hit full steam late last season, Paris Saint-Germain, Bradley Barcola was the man out in the wilderness. This year it seems to be Desiree Doué. It's hit a rocky run of form. Barcola has been in good form of late. Corner to Chelsea. It comes from Enzo Fernandez, headed away by Hakimi, controlled by Dembele. We haven't mentioned him too often, have we? He's been on the periphery, but they've not needed him really. It's back with Sanchez, so this Chelsea corner has now gone all the way back to their goalkeeper in the blink of an eye. 58% possession, Chelsea. But the 42% that Paris Saint-Germain have had has always had a lot more to offer. Gerald Hatter. Now it's driven forward by Chalaba. He's out of position. Ball is played out wide to Barcola on the volley by Dembele. Now Vitinha. There's a foul on the far side. They're coming together between Barcola and Santos. Santos wincing slightly, but he's up on his feet, and I think he's going to be okay. But they're wearing this big golden badge on the front of their shirts, Chelsea, at the moment, and it's probably a subtle reminder of how things went last summer when Chelsea rinsed Paris Saint-Germain 3-0 in the final of the Club World Cup. But this is taking revenge to the next level. Paris Saint-Germain in complete control. Vitinha all the way back to Safanov and Hakimi. Long ball forward, inch perfect to Vitinha. Vitinha running into the channel. It's hoisted all the way back to Robert Sanchez, who has to head it away, preventing it going out for a corner, but it will be a throw into Paris Saint-Germain right down in the corner. Remember, Real Madrid winning 1-0 tonight. Paris Saint-Germain 2-0. Chelsea and Manchester City are on their way out. City down to 10 men. Bernardo Silva sent off. Sporting 5, Bodo Glimt 0 in the earlier kick-off. That was after extra time. Bodo Glimt out. There's a few long faces in amongst the Chelsea fans. They were here tonight in hope rather than expectation that Chelsea might turn things around. If they'd have been 2-0 up instead of 2-0 down, there'd have been a real sense of optimism. Just don't feel like Chelsea have offered enough to suggest that they are capable of outplaying this Paris Saint-Germain side who are coming forward. Kvaratskhelia finding the run of Zaire Emery. Now it's with Hakimi. There's Neves, neat, tidy. He'll pop up in the box when you least expect him. He hasn't needed to tonight. Paris Saint-Germain have had 2 shots and they've both gone in. Still 0-0 at the Emirates across London against Bayer Leverkusen. Arsenal 1-1 on aggregate in that game. Vitinha. Back to Pacho. Wide to Zaire Emery. Well, he'll buzz around on the right wing and then he'll turn up at left back and then he's in the middle and just don't know where they're going to end up next. Players like him and Vitinha, they're so clever. Here is Vitinha. To Hakimi. Back to Makinos and across to Pacho. Now the left back Nuno Mendes closed down on this near side by Moises Caicedo, but Caicedo can't get there, and here's Zaire Emery and he curls it out wide to the right hand side. This is Hakimi. Now Dembele just lofts it back to the halfway line, and Pacho with that distinctive strapping on his left arm. Kvaratskhelia socks around his ankles pretty much, the winger. Well, Chelsea 29 minutes in have an hour to score 5 goals without reply. It's not impossible, it's highly improbable. Safanov puts his laces through the ball. Long high clearance. Gerald Hatter, the Dutchman, wins the ball, but look who's got it is Hakimi. Inch perfect inside to Dembele, and he curls it back out to the left hand side, and Kvaratskhelia can have a run here at the Chelsea defence. Kvaratskhelia still weaving his way inside, but he's beaten 4. He's had to head backwards now. Dembele. This is Vitinha. Now it's with Nuno Mendes, another Portuguese player. They've got 3 Portuguese internationals in this starting 11 Paris Saint-Germain. A little underlining factor that Portugal are going to be strong contenders for me in the World Cup next summer rather, this coming summer. Neves, Vitinha and Mendes, all world-class players. It's not about Cristiano Ronaldo, not by any means. Bruno Fernandes, a few others. That is a tasty looking lineup for Portugal. Portugal and Spain. I don't think they're going to be far away, are they? That could well be the final. Here's Pedro Neto finding João Pedro. João Pedro taking the return off of Cucurella, but there's a little lacking of confidence at the moment amongst those Chelsea players. They are somewhat forlorn. 7-2 they trail. And against the European champions, against the French champions, against the team that they beat 3-0 so convincingly back in July in the final of the Club World Cup, Chelsea suddenly find themselves needing snooker's miracles and 6 lottery numbers to win this one. I think one more Paris Saint-Germain goal and they're in no man's land. And you feel that if anyone's going to score, it might be Paris Saint-Germain, but that might change here. Long ball over the top by João Pedro. It's cut out with ease by Maquinas. This is João Pedro. João Neves, rather. And then Dembele, that's an perfect ball to Barcola. Barcola has the pace to take it into the penalty area. Barcola tees it up. Kvaratskhelia gets the return and puts it into the corner. And luckily for Chelsea, he was in an offside position as he takes it back from Barcola. I don't think, if it had not given it to Barcola, I think it'd have been all right. But he gave it to Barcola, and that's where he was offside and got a return and just rolled it to the corner. But the flag was instantly up, and well, they just carved open Chelsea again there. Take away the offside. That's immaterial for me. They just worked their way through like butter through a knife. Hot knife through butter. Sorry, get the phrase right. Here they come again. Here's Bradley Barcola, and across the face of goal. Well, he had the pace, most certainly there, of Joel Hato. And I just said to you a couple of minutes ago, if anyone's going to score here, and next goal, it feels like it's going to be Paris Saint-Germain. Barcola turned away there, and he whipped past Joel Hato. And well, Liam Rossigna must be thinking, what on earth can I do to contain this Paris Saint-Germain side? This is Cole Palmer to Neto. Can't find a way past Mendes. Free kick has gone the way of Paris Saint-Germain. Everything's going their way at the moment. It's United football in England in the EFL. Watford 2, Wrexham 0. Just going into half-time there. Cardiff City up towards the top of the League One. 0-0 with Wickham tonight. Lincoln City are the team, aren't they? They are losing tonight, the leaders. 2-1 at half-time away at Huddersfield. So Chelsea in possession. Cole Palmer inside his own half. Fouled from behind by João Neves. It's a free kick. Well, just don't know what must be going through the minds of the Chelsea players. They've still got 11 more minutes to go to half-time. I mean, they've got to score 5 goals without response. They know the job at hand. They will glance up at the scoreboard and they will see that it's 7-2. 7-2. 7-2. Less than 15 minutes played. And Paris Saint-Germain have been exceedingly good. I think they're such a good side when they've got the right blend. They have to have everyone fit. Ousmane Dembele doesn't play as a centre forward, even though that's where he is on the in the formation chart. But he just drifts everywhere and he causes damage. Zaire Emery is bussing around, but João Neves and Maquinas make a difference when they are in the starting lineup. Passing accuracy goes a long way. 91% passing accuracy from Paris Saint-Germain tonight is pretty impressive. Chelsea haven't been bad at 83. Here's Hakimi. Zaire Emery. He's going to have a shot here. Is he João Neves? No, he's going to go wide to Dembele cuts it back to João Neves, who angles it in towards goal, but straight at goalkeeper Robert Sanchez. Chelsea clearing their lines. Long ball forward for João Pedro. João Pedro in on goal, and he can't find a way from the angle to get past Safanov, and it's gone behind for a corner kick to Chelsea. Well, they need a goal between now and half-time just to give themselves a glimmer. There has been a goal in the game across London at the Emirates. It's Arsenal 1, Bayer Leverkusen 0. Ebere Eze has scored the goal. So Arsenal ahead. And in comes the corner. It was a dangerous one, but no one really there in blue. Safanov drifting a little bit. He went for the punch, and he did get a punch to it, but it was a floppy one, and it dropped behind for a corner. A couple of times he's come for a punch and not quite got it. Safanov. There is an area for me, Paris Saint-Germain, where they're susceptible. It is the goalkeeping position. I don't think they've properly replaced Donnarumma. Safanov is not the same standard. Lucas Chevalier has lost his place. He's done for a while. Here's Kvaratskhelia, good strength this time from Mamadou Sarr. Now Pedro Neto. Mamadou Sarr clears to Cole Palmer. Pedro Neto. This is Santos up to the halfway line. Cushioned well by João Pedro. Chelsea lost at home at the weekend. They look like they could go back-to-back games without a goal. At the moment, it's so comfortable for Paris Saint-Germain. There is no pressure from Chelsea to suggest that they could even sow a seed of doubt in the minds of Paris Saint-Germain. They would have to score one just before half-time to make it 7-3 on aggregate, and then they would have to get 4 without reply in the second half just to take it to extra time. 3 late goals in the last 15 minutes of the first leg, and 2 quick goals in the first 15 minutes of the second leg. Would have done it for Paris Saint-Germain, leading here by 2 goals to 0. The 2 wingers, Kvaratskhelia and Barcola, both scored in the first leg, both have scored in the second leg too. Here's Pedro Neto through the gap to Cole Palmer, trying to see off João Neves. Palmer whips it in, it's a good ball as well, it's headed away by Marquinhos. Here's Marquinhos again. High ball forward onto the head of Chalobah. Flicked over by Santos. This is Cole Palmer. Helped back to the goalkeeper by João Neves. They're looking comfortable at the moment, are Paris Saint-Germain. Well, Chelsea are going out, City are going out. And as things stand, Arsenal are going through. And they want 5 places in the Champions League next season to the English clubs. That all comes down to the coefficient. Chelsea and Manchester City not doing their bit towards that. Chelsea today fined 10 million for various misdemeanours under the old Abramovich regime, which has not got down particularly well. Quite lenient punishment given the circumstances. Chelsea building up ahead of steam. This is Andre Santos, wide to Cucurella. The last 2 passes have been backwards, so they need him to go forward. This is Enzo Fernandez trying to make things happen. He's been very quiet tonight. He's been completely outgunned in that midfield by João Neves, Vitinha and Zaire Emery, who have made him look no better than ordinary. World Cup winner. Well, they will, quite possibly, France or Portugal. This is where those 3 midfielders play their national football. Come across Enzo Fernandez and Argentina at the World Cup at some point in the knockout stages next year. My feeling is it'll be a European team that takes the crown. I can't see Brazil or Argentina being strong enough personally. I stand corrected. July. We'll see. Here's Zaire Emery. He will be part of a very strong French side. France, Portugal, Spain, England. They're going to be the 4 strongest teams. That's pretty clear and obvious. Here's Vitinha dancing around at the edge of his own penalty area. Enzo Fernandez watches on gleefully. Manchester City might be down to 10 men. They have got 1 goal back against Real Madrid tonight just before half-time. 1-1 in that game. Vinicius Junior had scored from the penalty spot. Erling Haaland has equalised. Here come Chelsea into the penalty area, and it's a chance maybe here for Andre Santos, and it's a good save from Safonov to keep the ball away. It was good save from Safonov, and the corner's been taken quickly. Pedro Neto wide to Enzo. Enzo's cross headed away by Pacho. And then Pedro Neto nudges it back to his goalkeeper with a header. Sanchez goes long with a clearance out towards the left-hand side. One in the air. Joel Hato. Now it's Cole Palmer. Flicks it wide to Enzo Fernandez. Good turn by Pedro Neto. Gets it out wide to Cole Palmer. Edge of the penalty area, left-hand side. Deflected cross from him. Hits Vitinha. Flies wide. 3 minutes to half-time. It is still 2-0 to Paris Saint-Germain on the night. 7-2 on aggregate. Just a chink of hope for Manchester City at 1-1. Here comes the cross, and headed across by Chalobah, headed towards goal, and tipped around the post. It was a good header as well by Andre Santos, and Safonov got down and tucked it behind. Now Cucurella from the short corner, back out to Cole Palmer. Threads it forward, but straight to Vitinha, and Vitinha releasing Bradley Barcola. He's through on goal here. Bradley Barcola through into the penalty area. Bradley Barcola saved by the goalkeeper Robert Sanchez. That was devastating from Paris Saint-Germain, and it all came from a sloppy pass from Cole Palmer straight to Vitinha, who quickly launched it into the channel at Bradley Barcola's pace. Right, left Cole Palmer in his wake, and he went through, goalkeeper to beat, and the goalkeeper made himself big at the near post and makes the save. That would have been game over if it's not already. Sitting on an advertising board at the moment is Paris Saint-Germain head coach Luis Enrique. Now, I don't know about you, but if I was the supporter that's paid quite an exceptional amount of money to be sitting in the seat behind him, I'd be tapping him on the back and asking him if he could kindly move his backside. Mr. Bowley's here tonight, the owner of Chelsea. They are still in the Champions League, but probably in a couple of hours' time won't be. Now, can they get the cross in? It's Joao Pedro into the penalty area. Referee's had a long look and gives the goal kick. He went to point, but he pointed straight to the goal kick. Slavko Vincic is the referee tonight from Slovenia. All the officials, on-pitch officials, all 4 of them are Slovenian. The 2 Germans on the VAR, Christian Dingar and Robert Schreider. Wasn't enough in it for the referee. So Arsenal winning. Manchester City down to 10 men and drawing 1-1. Chelsea losing 2-0 here and on their way out of Europe. 45 minutes still to play. We've still got 20 seconds of the first half. Clinical though PSG have been, I don't think we've had any injuries. I don't think we've had any VAR, well, we haven't had any VAR interceptions. We've had no stoppages at all, apart from the 2 goal celebrations. I'm estimating a minute added on would probably suffice. And I'm absolutely right, it is. Mamadou Sarr, across to Joel Hato. Both those players brought in from the start today. Both of those players played at Strasbourg under Leon Rosenior. Paris Saint-Germain have total control of this game, and they know it. They just slow things down. They know the half-time whistle is imminent. Akinos just stands and waits for Chelsea to close him down. They're not in any hurry to do so, Chelsea. They've just not shown that desire at the moment, Chelsea, for me. First goal was a killer. The second has absolutely flattened them. Arsenal 1, Bayer Leverkusen 0 is a half-time. And I can tell you, Chelsea 0, Paris Saint-Germain 2 is a half-time as well. Paris Saint-Germain the lead. Bradley Barcola found the top corner like he did in the first leg to make it 2 after just 15 minutes. Kvaratskhelia had a third in the net, but he was using Bradley Barcola in an offside position for a cushion pass in the process, so that was disallowed. Chelsea, and I've had a few scrapes. There's been a few not so fantastic punches from Safanov. The best chance, a header from Joao Pedro from one such error from the Paris Saint-Germain goalkeeper Safanov that dropped wide. There has to be a lot of soul searching in that Chelsea dressing room at half-time. It's Chelsea 0, Paris Saint-Germain 2 at half-time, and that is of course 7-2 to Paris Saint-Germain on aggregate. And they've got 45 minutes to score 5 without reply, Chelsea. It's not looking good for them. But we'll be back for the second half nonetheless in about 15 minutes. We'll see you on the other side. throw-in. Throw it is too, up in the air from Pacho. And Zaire Emery and Malulu both fighting for it, as is Vitinha coming away with the ball in that midfield area as well. Pedro's come very deep to get involved. I understand John Neves has a slight injury concern that he's not got a big chance for the second half. As Cucurella is sent knocking down to the ground by Ashraf Hakimi. Chelsea haven't created an awful lot. That's Cucurella. Scalia and Bradley Barcola with the goals. Here's Pedro Neto, can't find a way to find it. A player in blue. Enzo Fernandez plays it hopefully forward, can't find Pedro Neto. Goal kick. So Sporting through 5-3 on aggregate against Bodo Glimt. What a comeback from them earlier on in Portugal, in Lisbon. Arsenal leading 1-0 at half-time against Bayer Leverkusen, now into the second half in that one. Manchester City 1, Real Madrid 1, so it's 4-1 to Real Madrid on the night. Manchester City only need to score 4 goals to take it to extra time. But they've only got 10 men. Bernardo Silva's been sent off in that game, giving away a penalty which Vinicius Junior scored to make it 4-0 on aggregate. Erling Haaland has pulled one back before half-time for City. Looks like they're going out tonight. Long ball forward towards Pedro Neto. It was a great ball as well from Robert Sanchez into the penalty area. Neto pulls it back. Enzo Fernandez was robbed at the last by Seni Muyula, another hard-working midfielder. That's understated. Enzo Fernandez gets it wide to Pedro Neto. Chelsea in their blue shirts, blue shorts and white socks. Attacking to Joao Pedro. Pedro taking the pass off of Cucurella. Now Cole Palmer. Caicedo gets it wide. It's a good run from Achimpong into the penalty area. Stopped though by Kvicha Kvaratskhelia. Well, you ask yourself the question, how good a midfielder is Caicedo? He's not had a sniff tonight against that Paris Saint-Germain superb midfield that they've got. Joel Hatter has gone and recovered the ball from inside his own half, only to be greeted by the referee's whistle. I'm not sure why. Looks like a foul by a foul on Nuno Mendes, so a free kick to PSG, which will be taken by Safonov. A few nervy moments in the first half. Made a couple of good saves as well, but a couple of his punches weren't too solid. As I said in the first half, I don't think he's anywhere near as good as Donnarumma. I don't think Paris Saint-Germain have ever replaced him. Desiree Doué is warming up. Coaching staff out there taking several of the players through the drill. Cucurella. Enzo Fernandez to Caicedo, back to Fernandez again. Now Andre Santos, a Brazilian, to Cole Palmer. It's a good turn for him to get away from Mayulu. Mayulu's not going to live an inch though. Cole Palmer finding Neto. Back to Palmer again. Heads from left to right. This is Chalobah. He's out wide. Achimpong trying to add some urgency to Chelsea since coming on as a half-time sub. Out wide to Pedro Neto. Neto with a step over. Waits, Cucurella comes inside to Gerald Hatter. Gerald Hatter, the Dutch youngster, former Ajax man. This is Cole Palmer, goes down on the edge of the penalty area. And well, Cole Palmer went down very easily there. And the referee gives a free kick to Saint-Germain. More often than not, you see that given to the attacker as he's looking for a free kick on the edge of the box, but referee Slavko Vincic was having none of it. And, stood up all the way. In fairness, Emery. Well, that just about sums up Chelsea's first half, and indeed first leg as well. They are 7-2 down in this tie. As we said before, the winners of this tie, which will be Paris Saint-Germain now, pretty certain of that, will play Galatasaray or Liverpool. The first leg would be in Paris, assuming that Paris get over the line. Looks like it's going to be Real Madrid against Bayern Munich. Absolutely mouth-watering. It's Pedro Neto. Arsenal, if they win tonight, will go to Sporting in the first leg of their quarter-final. Fancy Arsenal to do that over 2 legs against Sporting. Gyökeres will be reunited with his former club. Bouncing around for Trevor Chalobah. Collided with Kvaratskhelia, and here come Paris Saint-Germain, but the whistle has gone to the annoyance of Nuno Mendes, who'd gone sprinting clear. If, successful tonight, Paris Saint-Germain have to do what they've done in this round, in the next round, and that's play the first leg at home. So Fernandes flicks it on, but Mayula picks up the loose ball, trying to dribble forward. It's won by Santos. And they could dig in deep, this Paris Saint-Germain side. They're in for the fight. Here's Barcola trying to get the ball off of João Pedro. He's been caught by João Pedro. Referee blows his whistle and gives a free kick. Or does he? No, he's carried on. And, Pedro seemed to catch Barcola late there. So referee stops play. Didn't get the free kick. I don't know why. It looked like a foul on Barcola. Barcola scored the second of the 2 goals. 7 goals in 11 matches in the Champions League. Kvaratskhelia has got now. It's not a bad return, is it? Goal exposing Mamadou Sarr and scoring. From that moment onwards, Chelsea's hopes in the Champions League had gone. And then Bradley Barcola with a wonderful finish high up into the top corner made it 2-0. Travelling Paris Saint-Germain fans have been making all the noise around Stamford Bridge tonight. The Ultras. It's a nice easy journey for them, isn't it, on the Eurostar? It's only an hour's flight, isn't it, London to Paris. Barcola is back up on his feet. PSG fans having a blast in the corner. And who can blame them? They won this tournament last season and they were exceptional, and they're just starting to hit form. Could be a repeat of the quarter-final last season when they played Liverpool at home first leg and away second leg. That could be deja vu. It's back to Pacho, back to goalkeeper Safanov. He's put under a little bit of pressure by Pedro Neto, and now here's João Pedro. He's going to try and curl it, and he curls it beyond the goalkeeper's left hand and wide, but that was poor distribution from Safanov again. Another key indicator that, for me, that is an area that they certainly need to improve on. The goalkeeping position. Donnarumma has not been replaced by Chevalier. Safanov has kept Chevalier out in recent months, and it wasn't great goalkeeping, although he was able to cover it at his near post. Enzo Fernandez to Cole Palmer. There's a resignation about the body language of Chelsea's players at the moment. They know that they are on their way out of the Champions League. They need to score 5 goals without response, and as every minute passes by, that becomes less and less likely. We are 11 minutes into the second half. It is Chelsea 0, Paris Saint-Germain 2. Paris Saint-Germain have a 5-goal cushion. Well, they're going to change things up here at Chelsea. They're going to bring on Lavia. They're going to bring on Garnacho. Whether it's going to produce them 5 goals or not, I don't know. Given Garnacho's rate in front of goal, probably not. Barcola and Vitinha inside to Dembele, who then passes the ball across to Pacho and makes a sprint for it down the middle. Ball's gone out and play on the far side. Mendes can't keep it in play. Looks like Desiree Doué might come on shortly for Barcola, who is back on the field but limping slightly from that injury a few moments ago. So Doué is going through the routine. I expect him to be on very shortly. Unless they decide to go for a slightly more defensive-minded player such as Mbaye or Dro Fernandez. Maybe even Lucas Hernandez, and push Nuno Mendes forward. That is another option for Paris Saint-Germain. Looks like we're going to see Garnacho coming on. As it's won back by Hakimi. Cut out by João Hatu. Plays it down the line to Cucurella. This is João Pedro. Now Enzo Fernandez. Is it square to Hato? João Pedro again. Too many options on for him. He turns the other way and he's managed to find Santos into the penalty area. Pulled back by Achumpong. Back to Santos again. Poor pass. And Vitinha was caught. Vitinha wins a free kick. Here come those changes. Well, first of all, Desiree Doué for Bradley Barcola. Predicted that one, didn't we? And we're going to see a triple change by the look of it, because Delap is coming on, Lavia's coming on, and Garnacho is coming on as well. Doué's not been in the greatest of forms. Only 6 goals this season from the 20-year-old. Cole Palmer is coming off. Placed by Garnacho. Garnacho will come to the right, Garnacho go to the left. Enzo Fernandez coming off, Romeo Lavia coming on. That probably tells you that this is a triple change, with João Pedro also coming off and Liam Delap coming on. That, for me, taking off Pedro, Palmer and Enzo Fernandez, tells me that is Chelsea throwing in the towel. Well, they pretty much have already, haven't they? They're 5-2 down on aggregate ahead of tonight. They're now 2-0 down tonight, so it's 7-2 on aggregate. They've got to score 5 without response, and they've got just over half an hour to do so. I was going to say stranger things have happened in football, but I don't think there are too many stranger things happen in football. This would be a night that would be talked about for a long, long time. Has been fouled. Zaire Emery, in fact, has been fouled. So Mendes gets the ball on the left-hand side for Paris Saint-Germain. Vitinha chips it over the halfway line. Very nearly found Mendes again. Kvaratskhelia helps it on, but it's cleared away by Andre Santos. This is Delap trying to put himself about up top for Chelsea. Seemed to catch Mendes there as he played the ball to Lap, but they've got it back of Paris Saint-Germain, but not for very long. It's won back well by Acheampong. Gets it out wide, and then the early cross comes in. It's fed towards goal by Delap, and a good save by the right hand of Matvei Safonov. That's probably his best save of the night. He has had some saves to make. But, Paris Saint-Germain have taken their chances. Chelsea have not taken theirs. Here's Vitinha. Kvaratskhelia. This is Kvaratskhelia again down the left-hand side. Makes a beeline for the penalty area. Pulled back towards Hakimi. And then lashed home. Brilliant goal from Desiree Doué. Well, he's only just come on the field. And it was Seny Mayula, in fact, that's hit it. And he's hit it into the top corner to make it 3-0 on the night and 8-2 on aggregate. Seny Mayula, who scored in the Champions League final last year. And that's his first goal in the Champions League this season. It's his 5th goal of the season, and the Chelsea fans are heading towards the exits. They've seen enough. They know that Chelsea are well and truly on their way out of the Champions League. It's Paris Saint-Germain that will take on Liverpool Galatasaray. Chelsea have been blown apart as the Paris Saint-Germain fans wave goodbyes to those Chelsea fans on the 3.5 sides of the stadium, but they won it back deep. Vitinha almost inevitably involved. Kvaratskhelia, Vitinha again. Off goes Kvaratskhelia, and this is where he's got ahead of Acheampong. And then he comes back inside. And whilst Hakimi couldn't do anything with it, Mayula steps up and just slams it in the top corner. It's a really good goal from the edge of the penalty area from Seny Mayula. Great finishing. Mayula making it 3-0 and 8-2. This tie. Well, I think it's all over now. The substitute on at half-time. He's just hammered another nail in the Chelsea Champions League coffin, I'm afraid. They won 10-0 on aggregate against Brest last season in the playoff. They think they can get 10 here. And across to, there's Mayula, and he's got it back here, Mayula. Can he get there? He can, he helps it on. Kvaratskhelia inside the penalty area, left-hand side, teasing. This is Zaire Emery. And now Desiree Doué. Wide it goes to Hakimi. And if they flex their muscles here at Paris Saint-Germain, they could make it very embarrassing for Chelsea. This is Vitinha. Gets it back from Mendes. Rolls it down the left-hand side. Nice touch from Zaire Emery. Mendes again. Vitinha again. Dembele's come back just to get a touch. But, Chelsea are gone. I mean, they've been gone since... probably gone before the first kick of the game here. But that Kvaratskhelia early goal pretty much put pay to any chance of a Chelsea comeback. That's a terrible pass from Pacho. And it's gone straight to Garnacho. And Garnacho shoots, and it's palmed away by both hands from Safonov, the goalkeeper, and then he pushes out the cross from Delap. And they are again with Neto, Pedro Neto, wide by Lavia. It's Lavia again. Sosedo. Sosedo comes inside, and Lavia driving. Got tripped up there by Mayula. It's going to be a free kick elsewhere tonight in the Champions League. Still Manchester City 1, Real Madrid 1. Arsenal now 2 goals to the good against Bayer Leverkusen. Looks like they're going to go through. So Pedro Neto tries and attacks down the right-hand side. Eberichieze got the first goal. I tell you, Declan Rice has got the second. 2 Englishmen on the score sheet for Arsenal. 2-0 up. 2 goals in 9 matches this season in Champions League. I think I might mention it was his first Champions League goal of the season. It wasn't. He scored in the league phase as well, and he's curled that one into the top corner. They've had 3 shots tonight, quite literally, Paris Saint-Germain, and they've all ended up in the net. They've had another shot that was in the net and disallowed. It's been a very good job, well done. As Lucas Hernandez comes on for the Parisians, and they're looking for more. Lucas Hernandez is on. Didn't see who he came on for, so we'll work that one out in a second. It's Dembele. Nuno Mendes has gone off as well, and Gonzalo Ramos has gone up top. So Gonzalo Ramos, he's usually good for a goal. Ramos, another Portuguese international, he'll sit in the shadow for Cristiano Ronaldo at the World Cup, I'm sure. Score a hat-trick at the World Cup in 2022, did Gonzalo Ramos. The ball is played in by Chelsea into the penalty area, easily gathered by the goalkeeper Safanov, who's had a mixed bag of an evening. And they come again with Zaire Emery, and then Kvaratskhelia cross. It's stopped by Achampong for a corner. And Stamford Bridge just beginning to empty out here. Those noisy Paris Saint-Germain fans in the corner continue to chant. The corner's taken short. Kvaratskhelia, well, he just cut inside, but he couldn't keep the shot down. Lost it over the top. Not that it matters too much. Does look as if Arsenal were breezing through. Paris Saint-Germain are on their way through, and Real Madrid are seeing off Manchester City tonight. And then, as they say, then there were 12. That's how many teams are left. Tottenham, Newcastle and Liverpool all in action tomorrow, the English clubs. I suspect Tottenham will go out. 5-2 they trail against their opponents, Athletic. Not impossible, just can't see at the moment Tottenham win the game 3-0 against anyone. They did improve the weekend against Liverpool. Pedro Neto, Achampong, round the corner by Caicedo, but straight to Lucas Hernandez. This is Mayulu, Zaire Emery. Down the line, Coutinho just helps it on. Achampong wins it back, not for long though. Away by Zaire Emery. Turned to the touch on the far side by Trevor Chalobah, and that will be a throw-in to Paris Saint-Germain. 8-2 to Paris Saint-Germain on aggregate tonight. Well, there was a comeback earlier on from Sporting. It may have just fueled the fire for desire for Manchester City and for Chelsea, but there hasn't been any big comeback tonight. There's Ramos, holds it up well and slips it wide to Kvaratskhelia. Kvaratskhelia can have another chance to tear off shreds of Achampong, but he comes inside. Coutinho wide towards his near side, Desiree Doué. Ramos went down, and Cucurella cutting the ball out that would have otherwise released Desiree Doué with a free strike at goal. Cucurella to take this throw for Chelsea, who have been comprehensively beaten. Thomas Tuchel, the England manager, is here tonight to run the rule over the likes of Cole Palmer. He's the only natural Englishman there, maybe Trevor Chalobah. There's Garnacho, can't find a way through, volleyed away by Kvaratskhelia. Trevor Chalobah and Josh Achampong are the only other Englishman on the pitch, along with Cole Palmer tonight. 4 attempts, 3 on target from Chelsea in the second half. They still trail 3-0. Zaire Emery loses out. Pedro Neto whips it across the face of goal. It eluded everyone. It was too high. It's gone out of play on this near side. It will be a throw-in to Paris Saint-Germain in the right-back position. Hakimi will take. Top two in League One are both in action tonight, and they're both losing. Watford late on a header against Wrexham by 2-1. Throwing will be now taken by Hakimi, who held the play up there for a moment. Header by Caicedo, who's taken the captain's armband for Chelsea. This is forward by Trevor Chalobah. This is Garnacho trying to make things happen on the left. Gets down the line. Hakimi won't give him an inch. He's got back up from Desiree Doué. Chelsea coming forward once more. Jorel Hato. Pedro Neto can't find Delap. Cleared away by Mayulu. Now Zaire Emery. Kvaratskhelia flick against Achimpong and out for a throw. Well, still 18 minutes to play here, but this is not a contest anymore. This is an exhibition. Saint-Germain will turn their focus to Saturday's trip to Nice, who are really in big trouble down at the wrong end of the table. They need points desperately. Paris Saint-Germain are going to bring off Kvaratskhelia. His job is done. Doué will go to the left, and Lee Kang-ying will come on and go down the right-hand side. Home games coming up for Paris Saint-Germain. The ball is whipped in. Let's just have a look at that. That was Moises Caicedo, former Brighton man, the Ecuador international. He scored 5 goals this season. And he's just lathered that one just across the face of goal. And, wide by inches. Kvaratskhelia walking around the back of the pitch by the Paris Saint-Germain fans. And they're jumping up and down Paris Saint-Germain. They're enjoying themselves, the fans who have made that trip to London from Paris. This is Lavia for Chelsea. Playing for pride really at the moment. They don't want to be conceding any more. 8-2 is a walloping over 2 legs by anyone's standards. Chelsea, if they want to use the reigning Champions League winners as a benchmark, have been comprehensively beaten here over 2 legs. Desiree Doué can't quite link up with Ramos, and it's cleared away to Delap, who holds the ball on the halfway line, sends it wide to Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto looks up and finds Garnacho into the penalty area. Garnacho, he took it very wide. He got the shot in low and hard, and it was a safe save by Safonov in the Paris Saint-Germain goal. His first touch let him down there a little bit. Garnacho took it further away. Didn't really trouble the goalkeeper. It's a save you'd expect him to make. 15 minutes to go. Chelsea 0, Paris Saint-Germain 3. This is Garnacho towards the left-hand side, checks it back to Caicedo, beats 2, beats 3. Still got the ball. Caicedo gets it out wide to Pedro Neto. Neto gets the cross in, too close to Safanov, who comes off his line and claims the ball. Barcola, Kvaratskhelia and Mayula with the goals for Paris Saint-Germain tonight. It's been a comprehensive victory as well. Chelsea have won 13 of the last 16 two-legged ties in Europe, but that isn't going to happen this time around. They are going to lose for a fourth time in 17. These two sides met at this stage in 2015-2016 season. Saint-Germain won both legs 2-1. Long clearance forward. Hakimi takes it on his chest, carries it inside to the centre circle. This is Zaire Emery to Mayula. Sent wide to Hakimi by Doué. Back inside to Vitinha. This is Hakimi, the right back, 3-0 up away from home. The right back spanning the left wing. They could do that. Took the Champions League by storm last season and were brilliant in the final. And they have been exceptional again over two legs against Chelsea. I wonder whether Liverpool, if they get past Galatasaray, can contain them. I have my doubts. Well, here's Garnacho. It's ball inside, was cut out by Pacho. Last season, Paris Saint-Germain won 2-0 at Anfield. And they lost 1-0 at home. How they lost 1-0 at home, I don't know. But here's Delap with a shot. It was a little on the lazy side from 20 yards. And another save for Safanov. Well, it goes down as another shot on target from Chelsea. Another save from Safanov, who's certainly been the busier of the two goalkeepers. And that's because every time Paris Saint-Germain have created a big chance in this game, it's just gone straight past the goalkeeper and in. Here's Hakimi to Lee Kang-Yin. Vitinha. Zaire Emery. Back to the left back, Hernandez. And out wide to Doué. Doué weaves his way inside. Gets it back again from Ramos. This is Zaire Emery. Wide once again to Ramos, who just chips it back into his own half. Excuse me. And it's with Vitinha. Back to Marquinhos. We've barely mentioned Marquinhos in the second half, but he's been solid at the back. Here's Garnacho, who's made a difference since coming on. Gets into the penalty area down the left-hand side. The ball is whipped across, took a slight deflection off of Marquinhos and ends up in the grateful arms of Matvei Safanov, the Russian goalkeeper, who bowls it out to the left-hand side, and Desiree Doué, who's got a chance to run at Achimpong here. Zaire Emery goes round the outside. It's taken off of him though by Moises Caicedo. Pedro Neto. A bit of determination now from Chelsea. Return to Neto from Santos. Wide to Garnacho. Garnacho. What can he conjure up? Still Garnacho. Goes for goal. And it's a save again by Matvei Safanov, who gets down and makes the save. Kept a clean sheet tonight. Chelsea have had more shots, more possession, but they've just been so clinical. Paris Saint-Germain come here and done a job, and have done it so exceptionally well. There's Marquinhos inside his own penalty area, rolls it wide. Lee Kang-Yin trying to see off the challenge that comes in from Joel Hato. Hakimi. Saint-Germain about to move into the last 8. Courtesy of scoring 8 over 2 legs so far. There's still 10 minutes to run in this game. Seems a pointless 10 minutes as Pacho hoists the ball away to the far side. It's taken by Doué. Doué blocked by Achimpong. It'll come now to Vitinha, who drives through the midfield, changes direction. 85% accuracy in the passing from Chelsea, 88% for PSG. So PSG's 91% in the first half has dropped slightly, and Chelsea's has got slightly better from 83 to 85, but the scoreline is still a huge difference between the two. Still no change in the scoreline in the other two games. Arsenal 2, Bayer Leverkusen 0, Manchester City 1, Real Madrid 1. City down to 10 men now. Sent off in the first half was Bernardo Silva. Erling Haaland equalising after Vinicius Junior given Real Madrid a penalty lead. They're keeping the ball at the moment, Paris Saint-Germain, which will frustrate the life out of Chelsea, but they are so good in these situations. Is Zaire Emery. Back to McInnes, lofts it forward. The question is, will Luis Enrique remain as the Paris Saint-Germain manager come the end of the season? If he does stay, I suspect his shopping list in the summer, if he wishes to tweak with this squad, would be another central defender, another goalkeeper, another striker. Maybe even another midfielder as Hakimi goes down the left-hand side, pinging the ball about superbly. And Hakimi trying to take it off of Chalobah. It's cleared away by Chelsea. But Vitinha winning it back again, and good play by Mayula. Referee stops play because there's a couple of players down in the penalty area, Chalobah and Hakimi. Chalobah seems to have come off worst in that collision. So Real Madrid against Bayern Munich sounds tasty. It looks like it's going to be Sporting against Arsenal. Paris Saint-Germain were the winners of Liverpool against Galatasaray. Could be Barcelona against Atletico Madrid. Could be Newcastle against Tottenham if they're the ever optimist. Paris Saint-Germain fans continue to wave goodbye to the hordes of Chelsea fans that are making their way to the exits. Quite a few of these Paris Saint-Germain fans here tonight with their shirts off. I have to admit, it's not been cold today. It's been quite a pleasant day. Tomorrow's going to be very warm in London, about 17, 18 degrees. Unheard of in March. Still not quite shirt off weather yet, unless you're a Paris Saint-Germain fan here in South West London. Liam Rosina is jotting down lots of notes at the moment. Stretcher is on for Chalobah. Liam Rosina's just jotted down loads of notes. He's torn a piece of paper out of his notebook and he's given it to Garnacho. Garnacho has then read it and now he's going to pass it on. He shakes his head, Garnacho, and now he's going to bring this piece of paper onto the pitch. He's going to pass it over to somebody. Who's he going to pass it to? What's on that piece of paper? Well, it took a little while to jot things down, Liam Rosina, and now he's given it to Garnacho. Garnacho's in no hurry to pass it on to I've shown it to Caicedo, and Joel Hato has had a look, and there's a little bit of a team conflab, and it looks like the end of the game for Chelsea's Trevor Chalobah, who's brought off on a stretcher. Looks like could be a serious injury for Chalobah. So change in the off-it. nice Englishman. Thomas Tuchel to look at tonight. Now Trevor Chalobah goes off on a stretcher. He's left with just Josh Ashimpong and potentially Liam Delap as well, not forgetting him. Four and a half minutes plus injury time. Stamford Bridge is fast emptying. Paris Saint-Germain have done a job on Chelsea over the two legs. They scored some late goals last week on Wednesday to build up a 5-2 lead. They've done the job early here with 2 goals in the opening 15 minutes. Ayula adding a third in the second half. Here's Hakimi for Paris Saint-Germain. Pacho. Lucas Hernandez gets it back from over on the far side. Zaire Emery. Hernandez again. Zaire Emery back to Pacho. So comfortable with the ball at their feet, Paris Saint-Germain. They're on their way to face Liverpool or Galatasaray in the next round. First leg will be at the Parc des Princes. Second leg will either be in Turkey or on Merseyside. That will be decided tomorrow night, which should be a thrilling game at Anfield. Don't know what you're going to get with Liverpool, do you? It's Lavia. Nearly overcooked it there, Chelsea, inside their own half. 3 minutes to go. There goes Caicedo. Powerful run from him up towards the edge of the penalty area. Still going. But that nearly got in his way. It's gone to Pedro Neto. Back to Caicedo. But he's then reversed it straight back to Doué. Doué can come inside. He's given it away. Run into trouble there. Santos. He's going to complete the full 90 minutes in the middle of that midfield for Chelsea. Pedro Neto, Santos, succession of 1-2s between the two. Just want the clock to run down and the final whistle to go now. Chelsea, they know that their interests in the Champions League this season are fading. Loss at home to Newcastle at the weekend means that their hopes of returning to the Champions League next season are currently fading. And with Manchester City and Chelsea and possibly Tottenham, maybe Newcastle, maybe Liverpool tomorrow night going out, you might just question the coefficiency as to whether there will be 5 places next year. They'll be hoping so, Chelsea, because that's probably their only realistic route back into it, the way things are going. Chelsea go to Everton this weekend, then they host Port Vale in the FA Cup quarter-final here. Got the best of the draws, didn't they? It's going to be a corner to Paris Saint-Germain over on the far side. April brings with it 2 home games against the 2 Manchester clubs, Manchester City and Manchester United for Chelsea. Certainly neither of those a gimme. Here's Vitinha, 25 yards from goal. Hakimi. Has it wide to Zaire Emery. Hakimi again. As we move into the final minute of the 90. Saint-Germain, which has been so good, Chelsea very poor. Back out wide again to Doué on the left-hand side, teasing his way past Achimpong. Ramos, Hernandez, Lee Kang-Ying, Vitinha, they're all at it, keeping the ball. As the ball crosses into the box, it come out for Hakimi. Hakimi tried to touch it to Lee Kang-Ying, can't do so, and Garnacho could bring the ball away for Chelsea on the left-hand side as he kept it in play. According to the assistant referee, no, he hasn't. It did look as if it had gone out of play. Arsenal were into stoppage time, 2-0 up against Bayer Leverkusen. Looks like they're going to be through. This one is as good as done. And in fact, there is no need for any additional time